Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Global God Choice. Only I choose Saiyan Bloodline 6. Chapter 6. Chapter 6. Logistics Research Department. It's only been half a day of exercise, and the data of my body has doubled directly. My choice is indeed right. Seeing those numbers on the attribute panel, Shu Heng's heart burst into flames. Although he doesn't really care about the opinions of others, when he chose Son Goku, he was opposed by so many people, and it was inevitable that he was still a little shaken and lost. But now, no one can stop his determination. When I activate the Saiyan Bloodline and successfully transform into Super Saiyan. What abyss beasts, what kings and overlords are all scum ants and smash your nest with one punch. There are people who look down on me now, and now you ignore me, in the future. Ahem, it's a bit of a middle schooler. Shu Heng shook his head and smiled, but this did not prevent his inner excitement. After calming down, Shu Heng went to the school cafeteria to buy a rich dinner to treat himself. Then, went straight to the dormitory, took a shower and went straight to bed. After all, everything has to pay attention to the combination of work and rest. Blindly exercising without rest will only make the body collapse faster. Ellipsis 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 dot. The night passed quickly. The next day, Shu Heng got up early, had a hearty breakfast, and went straight to the school playground. The professional training room has not yet opened, so I went to the playground for a few laps. Isn't that Shu Heng? Just as Shu Heng was concentrating on his running training, a discussion sounded. Shu Heng looked up and saw that in the corner of the playground, several classmates were doing warm-up activities, apparently planning to come to the playground to exercise. Among them was Shang Feng, who had automatically regarded him as an opponent before, that old friend, and the only person in the class who was in the blood of Master Roshi. Hee, you are early. Shu Heng greeted them casually, and then ran away on his own. He doesn't plan to chat with these people. After all, the first task now is to improve his strength. Without strength as a support, the so-called personal connections are all virtual, and they can only be reduced to dog-leg vassals in the end. Come here so early, the training is quite hard. This guy runs so fast and has already run many laps. How can he feel more powerful than yesterday with his energetic appearance? Is there really something special about the Son Goku bloodline? In a corner of the playground, those classmates were sweating coldly as they watched Shu Heng run around in circles. Is this the long-distance running as a 100-meter sprint? Humph. No matter how much you exercise, it's just a waste bloodline. A cold hum sounded. It was Shang Feng's disdainful voice. I still want to tap my own potential and turn the waste blood into a martial arts powerhouse. It's just wishful thinking. Beside him, the classmates who were warming up together nodded slightly. It is indeed too incredible to turn waste blood into a super strong. Leave him alone, it's just a waste of effort. Ellipsis 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 dot. After exercising in the morning, Shu Heng ran to the dormitory to take a shower, and then went straight to the classroom. Previously, the school organization completed the bloodline fit of all freshmen. Today is the day when the school assigns majors. Students will be divided into different departments and learn different knowledge. Universities recruit students, not entirely for the purpose of cultivating strong martial arts practitioners. After all, people live not just to fight, but also to live. Generally speaking, universities are divided into 4 professional systems. They are martial arts warfare, civilization history, scientific research, and internal commuting. Among them, the most popular is naturally the martial arts war, because this is the place to cultivate the strong. There are not only a lot of resources invested by the school, such as various training equipment and medicinal herbs, which can make students' strength improve with half the effort. There will also be a variety of excellent teachers who will answer questions and teach them practice and combat experience. In addition, there are super powerhouses from major cities to visit. It can be said that this is the center of a university town. In comparison, the other 3 are slightly worse. If you can specialize in the history of civilization or scientific research, you can also become a respected teacher. Only this housekeeping commute can be said to be the lowest ranking profession. The people inside are basically not accepted from other majors, there is no place to go, and those who have been deployed in the past are basically unlikely to have any great achievements in the future, and it can be said that they will be discarded. Ellipsis 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 dot. Shu Heng's dormitory is very close to the classroom, and it's only 2 steps away. However, because Shu Heng took time to exercise and take a bath, when he entered the classroom, the teacher had already started to explain the relevant knowledge. The basic structure of the school, as well as the different characteristics of each major, I think everyone has a basic understanding. From now on, the major assignments of each student will be announced. Please remember them carefully. The students below were sitting with their heads in danger, and the teacher began to broadcast. First place, Shang Feng, Martial Arts War Department. Wow, as expected, it's Master Roshi's bloodline after all. Although I expected it long ago, it is inevitable that I am a little envious. Brother Feng, you must be the future master of martial arts. Haha, listening to the compliments around, Shang Feng seemed very proud. Seeing Shu Heng, who had just entered the class, he pouted in disdain. Second place, Jia Hu, Martial Arts War Department. Third place, Wen Jia, Department of Scientific Research. Fourth place. The fifth place. Ellipsis 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 dot. In this way, the teacher broadcasts one by one, telling the students where they went. In a blink of an eye, the roster reached the last one. 66th place, Shu Heng. As soon as the name was recited, several waves of riots erupted in the originally quiet classroom. Oh, isn't this the champion? It's still worth thinking. The waste blood is sent directly to the Internal Affairs and Commuter Department, and there is no negotiation. Quiet and quiet. The teacher patted the table and glanced at Shu Heng below, with a little regret in his eyes. Shu Heng, Logistics Research Department. The teacher said lightly. It's actually this department. The students were slightly puzzled. No, teacher, it's not fair. Shang Feng, who had been waiting for Shu Heng to make a fool of himself, immediately slapped the case. Ellipsis 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 dot. Global God Choice. Only I choose Saiyan Bloodline 7. Chapter 7. Chapter 7. I want to stay in the Logistics Department. Teacher, why was Shu Heng assigned to the Logistics Research Department? This obviously doesn't match his bloodline. Shang Feng, who had been watching Shu Heng's jokes, was full of doubts. In his opinion, how could such a waste bloodline known to passers-by enter the research department? Isn't Son Goku more powerful than ordinary people? Isn't it more in line with his identity to be a porter in the logistics department? The research department should be regarded as a place for high-end talents, and Shu Heng is not qualified to enter. The teacher on the podium didn't seem to be surprised by Shang Feng's questioning, and then he smiled lightly, haha. Shu Heng, as the top scholar in the liberal arts, can get the first place in the culture class, which shows that he is talented and intelligent. Such a bright mind is suitable for being a researcher. It would be a pity not to go. It was also because of the number 1 scholar in the liberal arts that Shang Feng felt very unhappy. Because of this incident, he had already been beaten by Shu Heng several times, just because his grades were inferior to him. Faced with the reason for the teacher's response, Shang Feng was obviously unconvinced. However, even a researcher needs to have basic strength. And his bloodline obviously does not meet this requirement. Furthermore, this arrangement is unfair to other students, especially the students whose bloodline talent is stronger than him, but who can't enter the research department. As soon as these words came out, the originally quiet atmosphere of the classroom was instantly broken, and suddenly some classmates began to whisper. That's right, I also successfully matched the bloodline talent. Although I'm not a peerless master, it's also a light blue level, which is definitely better than that gray-white waste bloodline. Indeed, I can only enter the general logistics department, and I can't get a place in the research department, which is obviously unfair. Looking at the whispering situation below, On the podium, the teacher frowned slightly, and his expression was not very good. Quiet. A powerful and heavy voice exploded in the classroom, which was the teacher's anger mixed with internal strength. In this martial arts world, being able to become a university teacher, no matter how weak and uncontrollable it looks, is definitely not to be underestimated. Martial arts are important, but they should never be the whole of life. We are called people because we have emotions, not cold fighting machines. Immediately, you will all enter a new department to study further. In this last lesson, I hope you will remember, life should not only be about fighting, and don't fall into the misunderstanding of everything is inferior, only martial arts are high. Martial arts should not be the standard by which everything is measured, cultural achievements are equally important. I have already decided on Shu Heng's entry into the research department. If you have any questions, you can go to the school's academic affairs office to appeal. We won't discuss it here. Below, looking at the teacher's expression on the verge of going crazy, the classmates didn't dare to talk too much. Moreover, what the teacher said really makes sense. No matter what, Shu Heng is also the first in the cultural class. After all, this still has a little weight. The first place in the culture class to enter the research department, there is really no problem. Shu Heng, after you enter the research department, I will introduce you to a famous research professor. I hope that after you follow him, you will not waste your talent again. The voice of the teacher in front resounded again, with a deep regret. To be able to get the first place in the cultural class, as long as the martial arts talent is not too poor, it is destined to have a bright future. And Shu Heng was able to successfully perform the bloodline matching, which at least means that his martial arts talent is not completely lacking. After all, there are so many people who can't even complete the bloodline matching ceremony. You've wasted your martial arts talent, I hope you don't waste your cultural talent again. Entering the research department is at least a good home. Unfortunately, the teacher sighed in his heart. It's good to have the support of a teacher. Such a useless person can still enter the research department. Why does no one support me so much? It's just something that goes through the back door. In the corner of the class, Sheng Feng looked at Shu Heng, who was favored by the teacher, with disdain for a while. In the last row of the classroom, Shu Heng was moved when he saw the teacher who was so partial to him. He knew that the number 1 in liberal arts was just a gimmick. According to common sense, he should indeed be assigned to the logistics department, and should not be eligible to enter the research department. Therefore, the teacher is indeed partial to him when it comes to assigning majors. But, entering the logistics department is precisely his goal. Only after entering the logistics department can he train as he pleases. Because the logistics department is in charge of all the training rooms in the school. The training room is usually open to all students. With the increase in the number of training equipment used, some equipment will gradually be damaged, making it unusable. Therefore, all the training rooms in the school are usually maintained and repaired by the logistics department. And this also means that people in the logistics department can freely enter and leave all martial arts training rooms in the school, and can use all martial arts training equipment at any time. The most important thing is that there will be no time limit for logistics personnel to enter and leave the training room. This also means that once Shu Heng is in the logistics department, he will be able to use all the equipment at will. No time limit. That's exactly what it takes to spark Saiyan's blood. Therefore, from the very beginning, he has determined the goal, that is, to enter the logistics department. Just as he ignored everyone's ridicule and chose Son Goku for blood fit without hesitation. This time, he will also not hesitate. Hey, I'm going to stand out again. Shu Heng sighed silently in his heart. Teacher, I'm sorry, I'm afraid I have to disappoint you. However, no one can stop me from choosing the logistics department. Thinking of this, he stood up suddenly and shouted to the teacher on the podium. Teacher, I want to join the logistics department. I don't want to go to the research department. As soon as the voice fell, the audience was silent. Everyone's eyes turned to Shu Heng. His face was shocked. Ellipsis 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 ellipsis. Global God Choice. Only I choose Saiyan Bloodline 8. Chapter 8. Chapter 8. Allocated Selection. There was silence in the class, with the sound of needles falling. The students looked at Shu Heng silently. Everyone had a big question mark on their face, and they all suspected that they had heard it wrong. On the podium in front, the teacher also looked at Shu Heng with a puzzled expression. Did the words just come from Shu Heng's mouth? Teacher, I have already decided, I will go to the logistics department, Shu Heng said again, breaking the silence of everyone. In an instant, the class became noisy again. What happened just now? Did Shu Heng go crazy again? As expected of Son Goku's bloodline fit, he truly lives up to his reputation, haha. Indeed, such a decision cannot be made without cerebral thrombosis for 300 years. The classmates in the class began to complain enthusiastically. They really didn't understand what was wrong with Shu Heng. This level of mental retardation, how did the liberal arts champion get it? It can't be copied. Obviously there is a better research department to go to, but he took the initiative to go to the logistics department. Do you really want to be a porter? Every day, the school will have a large amount of material flow, the most basic such as the distribution of living materials in the school's canteens, and the daily maintenance and repair of the training equipment in the major martial arts training rooms. These are two major projects. In addition, every once in a while, the school will hold various activities from time to time. These activities are usually very urgent, and various materials need to be expedited in a short period of time. The students in the logistics department would be woken up in the middle of the night from time to time and asked to have the experience of building a stage venue to welcome the big man who suddenly visited. In addition, there is equipment maintenance, which is not only routinely checked every day. Occasionally encountering a few violent students, and the training equipment is broken, it is necessary to replace the entire equipment. A gravity machine, plus consumable accessories, weighs thousands of pounds. Once damaged, it is very troublesome to replace. Therefore, the life of the logistics department, compared with students of other majors, will have a lot of trivial matters, and these matters will delay a lot of time. The research department, in contrast, is unusually leisurely. After punching in every day, it is enough to bury your head in doing things, and usually no one will bother you. Therefore, everyone really couldn't understand why they didn't go to the good research department and had to go to the exhausted logistics department. Ellipsis 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 dot. Shu Heng, are you serious? Are you sure? Are you sure you want to go to the logistics department? The teacher's slightly angry voice came, and he asked 3 consecutive questions. Obviously, the teacher also felt incredible. He spent so much time trying to get Shu Heng to be sent to the research department. He managed to quell everyone's discussion. For this reason, he might even suffer complaints from individual classmates. As a result, Shu Heng actually rejected him and refused to go to the research department. This was something he hadn't thought of. Shu Heng, don't be impatient. The back office is labor-intensive and has arguably the lowest status in the school. In addition, it may be more dangerous. There have been conflicts between students, and staff members were accidentally injured under rage. The most important thing is that the logistics department will waste your time. Do you want to waste your cultural talent again? Only by going to the research department can you better utilize your abilities. The teacher obviously did not want to give up and continued to persuade Shu Heng. People from the logistics department generally have nowhere to go and are forcibly assigned. Generally speaking, the logistics personnel have extremely low martial arts talent, so they are likely to be bullied by the people of the Martial Arts Institute. No more, teacher. Facing the teacher's persuasion, Shu Heng was very moved. He knew that this was the teacher thinking about his future. However, they are destined to not understand the speciality of Saiyan's blood. There is no need for all kinds of messy medicinal herbs, nor any secret cultivation methods. Just training, endless training. Although going to the logistics department will live up to the teacher's good intentions. However, no matter what, he would not change his mind. I voluntarily applied to be transferred to the logistics department, and I will never go back. He said again. Hee, trash is trash. On the side, Shang Feng, who has been disliking Shu Heng for a long time, sneered. 300 years of cerebral thrombosis, I can't persuade me no matter what. Alas, the brain is disabled in the intelligence. If you can listen to other people's well-intentioned advice, then it's not called a brain. It's true that things gather together, people are divided into groups, and it is worthy of being a talent who can choose Son Goku. For such talents, it is indeed more suitable to go to the logistics department. It is really a shame to go to the research department. Ahead, the teacher looked at Xu Heng, who was so stubborn, with a look of regret. Ellipsis 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 dot. However, seeing Xu Heng's determined look, he didn't open his mouth to persuade again. I hope you really have some special reason, otherwise, it's really a pity, the teacher said softly on the stage. Immediately, he did not hesitate. Dear students, everyone's major assignments have been notified. If you have any questions, you can ask questions at any time today. Wait until the allocation takes effect and then challenge it, there is no room for change. Hope all students have a bright future. 3 days later, go to your respective new professional reports. This class ends here, get out of class is over. Global God Choice. Only I choose Saiyan Bloodline 9. Chapter 9. Chapter 9. Freshman Do. He actually training. Blinked in over 3 days, to the day-to-day reported new professional. No extra nonsense, no extra chores, Xu Heng went straight to the turn-based job site. He just wanted to hurry after finishing the procedures, good training to save time, do not want to waste time on those mess of things. Ellipsis 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 dot dot. Ellipsis 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 dot. On the playground, surging pull. Here is a nascent professional assigned place. In order to meet the annual allocation of newborn, each department will organize sister school seniors to help students first came to complete the formalities. Huge playground is divided into several blocks of different regions, each occupying a local professional for formalities. Wow, this professional clothes so beautiful, this version is the way I like. I like that piece in high school, ugly not pull a few, you can only take mopping the floor. And this material, this is it silk, or special technique imitation, feel quite possible. This identity card is also good, plus titanium body jade ornament, free of charge, the school under the original capital A. Come, help me take a picture, I have to clockwork dynamic job otherwise a waste. On the playground, Xu Heng shuttle in the crowd, he was looking for his professional newspaper everywhere. Here from time to time came the sound of laughter and discussion, it was reported that after the completion, students receive professional services, new discussions found. In fact, the university does not require uniforms, but in some cases, uniforms will look a little bit more professional. But Xu Heng does not care about these things, he just wanted to hurry to complete the report, and then went straight to the training room. How you cannot find it? In the center of the ground for several laps of Xu Heng, a bit puzzled, because he could not find the logistics department of the newspaper found everywhere. Implying the logistics department did not send someone. Okay. Suddenly he found in the corner of the playground, a simple shed in the area have not been draped over him. He came closer, I saw a few people here sparse. Middle simple shed stocked with a small desk, the front says, logistical, word. And on the table, there are as many men on sleeping. Why they down next to people playing mobile phone. Yo, new to it. Watching the approaching Xu Heng, one of the people looking at cell phone a slight rise, Xu Heng looked at, and casually toward the next one finger. Snow, professional services in the next, identity cards on the table, put up their own. Dormitory in the east, you start from here, straight 300 meters, then turn left, turn right after walking for a while. Anyway, the hostel is in place, look for yourself, or ask the road, it will naturally find. After the rise of perfunctory to say a few words, the staff continued to bow to play phone, occasionally also he smile. This dress is to pull the hips, cut the thread did it. Where 2 days or estimated collapse line fell apart. And this identity card, is actually made of wood, 2 days did not wear the names. Other people's identity cards are alloy plus jade, we put forward a iron line ah. Prior to Xu Heng, there are several freshmen a little bit earlier than him. After receiving the clothes and identity cards, mind obviously some crashes, and when Xu Heng pass, still complaining about each other. However, Xu Heng and do not care, after fast finish collar clothes, directly toward the hostel away. After looking for quite a while, and finally asked passers hostel location, Xu Heng took the identity card into the door. This hostel, really bad points, the doors are rusty. Xu Heng looked at the bedroom door, a push on a loud crunch, could not help but sigh. Before his freshman dormitory where, all matte plexiglass door, on the ground also covered with new marble. And this dormitory, on the ground are concrete, and still a little bumpy, a dilapidated look. Opened the door to the hostel which actually are not a person, it seems not to report. Pick a bed, laid back, Xu Heng immediately leave the dormitory, ran toward the nearest training room. Ellipsis 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 dot dot. Ellipsis 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 dot. Training room door, Xu Heng holding identity cards, and handed the guard. Ha, freshmen do. Looking at the hands, handing me the identity card, guard, the old man surprised rode. The logistics department, so quickly to clean up. The newborn is very diligent, before all can hide to hide. Grandpa guard towards Xu Heng and friendly smile, go. After coming to the training room, a little warm-up, Xu Heng just start training objectives set by today. Ellipsis 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 ellipsis. 150 sit-ups, pull-ups 100 squat, bird's boat, standing bounce. There are weight-bearing jogging 20 kilometers. Ellipsis 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 ellipsis. After study, Xu Heng firmly implement the training program before determined limit by. To ensure that every muscle in the body can be effectively trained, the Xu Heng training program contains a full set of exercises. Bird tree drop in pairs. Just when Xu Heng implementation of its training programs, outside the corridor, just the janitor uncle is slowly coming towards us. Grandpa leisure humming opera, her hand holding a large cup. What, this is just freshmen come in. Passing the training room, he saw being trained Xu Heng, suddenly I feel very surprised. Not in cleaning, he actually training. Ellipsis 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 dot dot. Ellipsis 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 dot. Global God Choice. Only I choose Saiyan Bloodline 10. Chapter 10. Chapter 10. Gravity Training Room. The doorman outside looked at Xu Heng in surprise, and then continued to walk towards the water-drawing platform. Xu Heng in the training room was unaware of this and continued his training plan. The pull-ups and the bird row are done, and the arm muscles are in place today. Next comes the leg muscles, and endurance training, which is aerobic jogging. Training over and over again. He will use the fastest speed to increase his strength and activate the Saiyan bloodline. Half a day passed in the blink of an eye. Properties panel, open. Immediately afterwards, a familiar transparent light curtain flashed into Xu Heng's sight. Ellipsis 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 dot dot. Name: Xu Heng. Constitution: 55. Spirit: 35. Strength: 60. Agility: 33. Bloodline: Son Goku, Super Saiyan. Ellipsis 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 dot dot. Not bad, although the growth rate is a little lower than the last time, but it is still about 50%. Xu Heng is very satisfied. After a short training before, the values of various attributes doubled directly, which Xu Heng felt a little incredible. If the body value can be doubled after each training, it is going to heaven. Obviously it is not realistic. At first, he thought it was because of the Saiyan bloodline, but later realized that it might be because of the low basic attributes in the first training. If you can maintain a 50% increase every time, it can be against the sky. Son Goku in Dragon Ball was not too strong at the beginning. When he was born, he could only be rated as a lower-level warrior. However, that's only because of a delayed physical development. In the later stage, the upper limit of Son Goku's combat power simply broke through the sky. So Xu Heng is not worried. Compared with other people, his upper limit can be said to be infinitely high. Only need infinite training, no bottleneck. Let's stop here for this training. The combination of work and rest is the kingly way. So Xu Heng put away his belongings, turned around and walked towards the door. At the gate guard, the janitor listened to the opera leisurely, and saw Xu Heng, who was sweating profusely, with a strange expression on his face. This is the first time I have seen such a hard-working freshman. He came to train right after reporting, and he was still from the logistics department. Isn't it that the talents in the logistics department are extremely poor, and training is not very useful? Hearing the uncle whispering behind him, Xu Heng smiled slightly, ignored it, and walked straight to the dormitory. Ellipsis 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 dot dot. Crunch. Pushing open the door of the dormitory, Xu Heng was slightly taken aback. The originally empty dormitory now has a figure in every bed. Immediately, he realized that this was a new classmate. He reported too early before, and the dormitory was empty when he came. Now he has been training for a long time, and all the roommates who didn't arrive have come. The students in the dormitory were also stunned when they saw Xu Heng, who pushed in the door, and then someone immediately responded. Hey, hello, aren't you that liberal arts champion? I heard you picked Son Goku. The roommate's surprised voice sounded, and the originally quiet dormitory became a little warmer. After choosing Son Goku, it is true that he can only be transferred here. After all, the martial arts department needs extremely high talent and blood, and none of us are qualified. But it doesn't matter. The logistics department will also produce strong martial arts. Although it is much less than the martial arts department, there are still people who are ahead. You are also a top scholar in liberal arts, with a smart mind and high understanding. No matter what, you still have a great chance of getting ahead, so don't be discouraged. The classmate who first greeted Xu Heng was very enthusiastic and positive. Forget it. For those people in our logistics department, it's not bad to be able to successfully fit Son Goku. There are many who can't even complete the fit ceremony and fail directly. The unknown ruins in the future will not have our share at all, so what can we use to improve our strength? I just want to be a salted fish quietly, and let you do the dream of becoming a martial arts expert. Compared to the first classmate, the other one seemed a lot more negative. Actually, it's not that the school doesn't let us enter the ruins, but our strength is really too poor. The unknown ruins are so dangerous, and we'll probably die if we enter. But if you have enough strength, there is still a chance to be assigned to the unknown ruins. Also, I heard from the seniors that every time we explore the unknown ruins, we also need people to clean up the battlefield. At that time, it will be our logistics department's turn to appear. So, there is no need to worry at all. Listening to their discussion, Xu Heng sat on the bed silently in a daze. Ellipsis 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 dot dot. Unknown ruins, the teacher once explained in class. In order to expand the living area of human beings, major colleges and universities often send martial arts experts out of the city to explore. The unknown ruins are located outside the high wall, hidden in the midst of the abyss. Usually, unknown ruins are occupied by wild beasts. In order to open the ruins and use these ruins for human use, you must expel or kill all the beasts in the ruins. After the successful cleaning, the logistics department will be allowed to enter and clean the battlefield. Afterwards, a high wall will be built around the ruins. Then humans settled in, expanding the area step by step, and finally turning into a big city that can accommodate millions or even tens of millions. Unknown ruins, Xu Heng muttered to himself, then ignored it. After all, now is not the time to think about these issues. What should I do next? Pure equipment training is not enough to maximize strength. Gravity training room. Sitting silently on the bed, Xu Heng suddenly thought of a word and shouted excitedly.